In this video, we are going to show you how you can do the exchange of a Fronius Verto device. Whenever it is needed to exchange a Fronius Verto against a new device, you can do this either by calling our tech support hotline or using our Fronius SOS tool to do the exchange process of a Fronius Verto. Whenever you're exchanging a Fronius Verto, please first of all order the exchange device and then take the exchange device with you to the customer site to do the exchange on site. Whenever exchanging a Fronius Verto, please note that you first off need to disconnect the AC connection as well as the DC connection. For AC connection, you can do it directly in the AC combiner, as well as for the DC connection we have our DC switch on the side of the inverter. With that you can kill the DC line on the inverter. After that, it is needed to open up the screws on the inverter, so therefore you will find 5 screws on the front of the device. After that you can remove the cover, and to open up the connection area there are further screws down below that also need to be opened up, and then you can remove the connection area cover and then disconnect the AC cabling as well as the DC cabling and the data communication cabling. After that you can remove the Fronius Verto from the wall, and therefore we have 2 latches on the side of the inverter that needs to be open, and then you can snap out the Fronius Verto from the wall mount and remove it from the wall. After that you take the new device that you received from Fronius and install it to the existing wall mount that is already on the wall. So therefore there is no need to drill new holes or to exchange the wall mount of the Fronius Verto. You can leave it as it is and install the new exchange device directly to the existing wall mount. So let's start up with the opening process of the Fronius Verto. After installing the new Verto to the wall, we can now start with installing back the AC, DC and data communication cable. And we do this with opening up the covers on the front side of the device again. Please note, when installing the AC side of the Fronius Verto, there is a specific Newton meter to use when installing the AC cable to the device. So please note, depending on the size of the cable diameter, you need to install the AC cable with a specific torque. Please do not forget to now send back the old device back to Fronius. And after that you can now do the initial commissioning of the new inverter, and therefore there is the licensing process, and how this works we'll show you in the next step.
Here we need to enter the open access point of the inverter. With this predefined IP address you can then enter into the web interface of the inverter. The inverter detected a replacement and automatically starts with this licensing process when you enter the web interface. For this process you need the serial number and the V code, and both of those are at the side of the inverter. You enter those 2 numbers and have the option to do an online or offline licensing. We now do the online licensing process. The first step is a general data control here of PV system name, time zone and so on. The second step are terms and conditions, which you have to agree once. The third step is a check of the network settings. And the last step is the license activation. You are now finished with the licensing process, but please don't forget the last step for you is to do a software update. You can do this update via Solar.web and have linked a how-to video for you in the video description. The how-to video is called How to Perform Remote Inverter Update in Solar.web.
First up, we start directly on your Fronius SolarWeb system. So this SolarWeb system is now the system where you just exchange the old inverter to a new one. To exchange the data source in Fronius SolarWeb, you go up below to the point Settings, and there you find the second point Components. Under Components, you will now find the data source that you want to exchange. So we click on this device, and we now want to change the data source with a hit on the button. Second up, you now need to put in the serial number as well as the V code that is written down on the nameplate on the side of the inverter. So therefore, please type in the serial number of the new device as well as the V code. And with these two data, you can now exchange the old data source to a new one, and from then on, the new inverter will deliver data to this existing SolarWeb system. Please note, however, that of course the new inverter needs to be already online to do this. So this is the exchange process of the Fronius inverter. With that, you have now successfully exchanged your inverter. To sum things up, that means whenever you want to exchange an inverter at the customer side, please always order the new device from our Fronius tech support or directly via the Fronius SOS app. Then exchange the inverter at the customer side, do the installation as well as the commissioning directly on the Fronius SolarStart app or on the web interface. And last but not least, please exchange the data source directly in Fronius SolarWeb so that the new inverter will deliver data to the existing Fronius SolarWeb system. I wish you all the best with that.